Hey Facebook, it's Craig here live again for the sixth part of my series on why your 401k is a scam. And so I'm going to review what we talked about, because the first one, and I think one of the most important ones, is that it's not tax-free, it's a tax deferred, but it's not just that the tax is deferred, but the tax calculation is deferred. And we went into what that means for what you're going to pay later. We talked about the free money scam, that when you have an employer match, often it's not as good a deal as it seems on the surface. We talked about the fact that the fees never stop and how the fees are on both ends. We talked about the fact that putting your money in a 401k or an IRA is kind of like putting your money in prison. Had a great conversation with somebody this week who was just so fed up with the fact that they worked hard for their money and now they can't get to it without having to pay all kinds of penalties. Well, the last one was the myth of market returns, that although a few people might do really well in the market, the majority don't do as well as we're led to believe. And sixthly, and the reasons why it might be a scam is actually comes from who's called the father of the 401k, Ted Benna. Ted came out publicly and he said that the 401k is an out-of-control monster that should be blown up. That's a direct quote, an out-of-control monster that should be blown up. He's one of the guys who actually originated this whole concept of the 401k to put it in place. So obviously he's taken a look at what he created and realized it's not what he had intended it to be. And the bottom line is most pre-retirees don't have enough money saved. In fact, the average person in their 50s has less than $100,000 put away, many less than $50,000, which what that means is we have a country of people who aren't going to retire or aren't going to be able to live the life that they want in the second half of their life because they were too busy doing other things and not putting money away, or they put it away into vehicles where most of their money is going to be taken from them by the government, and they're not going to have access to actually spend it. Here's the bottom line. If you're one of those people who go, I'm putting money away, I want to live the second half of my life the way I want to live it, then you've got to put your money somewhere. It doesn't matter whether you put it in a hole in your mattress, in the bank, in a 401k, in a mutual fund, stock, real estate. Somewhere you've got to put that money. And where you put that money is way more important than how much money that earns. And that's an important concept most people miss. Everybody thinks I just want to earn a big pot of money. But it's really not about the big pot of money. It's about how much of it do you get to spend. And I've harped on this a lot. And so if you put your money in the wrong place, you're not going to have as much to spend. And you're going to have a rude awakening. So I did this six-part series mainly just as education to help people realize that there are better ways. That's what I help my clients with, finding ways where they don't have to be indebted to fees and they can actually have liquidity with their money. And they don't have to worry about who's in office. They can actually have, and who they're going to have to pay taxes to and what the tax rate's going to be. So that's it, guys. That's the 6 parts. Next week, we're going to start some